Hey everyone, it's Tyler Stroyak with Universal Rackets, and in this video, we are going to be going over how to hit low balls. If you are ever on the pickleball court and you're making contact down here, we're going to teach you exactly what to do. If you feel like your back hurts, if you feel like you're physically eliminated, if you feel like when you get a low ball, you always pop the ball up to your opponent, then this is going to be the video for you. When you're making contact down here, the thing that you have to do on the pickleball court is hit the ball up to get the ball up over the net. Many players, where they go wrong is if they ever make contact down here, they end up popping the ball up. And if they pop the ball up, that's going to give their opponent an offensive shot to hit down into the court and win the point. If you watch this whole video, next time you get any type of low ball, we're going to give you tips, tricks, and technique on exactly how to play that ball back. Instead of popping the ball up, you're going to be able to hit an aggressive shot. Instead of hitting a defensive shot, you are going to be hitting a neutral shot. We're going to be doing a full masterclass back at the baseline, returning low serves, hitting low drives, hitting low drops. A lot of players struggle with hitting drops off of a super low bounce, and most importantly, up at the kitchen, we're going to be going over how to get back low dinks. So make sure you buckle your seatbelts and stay tuned, because this is going to be an amazing pickleball masterclass on how to hit low balls. Let's go. Now we are going to start off with returns. When you are returning a low serve, now here's the thing, for your returns, for your drives, for your drops, if you want to be able to hit low balls, balls that are bouncing super low, you have to think one thing, and this one thing will completely change your game, and you're going to be able to get 50% more. And that is, you are not going to let the ball come to you, you are going to go to the ball. Once again, from now on, when you play pickleball, you are never going to let this yellow plastic ball come to you. You are going to go to the ball. I want you to be impatient. I don't want you to wait for it. The reason why is because this is a yellow plastic ball. This is a wiffle ball. It's not a bouncy ball. It's not a rubber ball. It's not a tennis ball. As soon as this ball hits the ground, it is going to die down. It's not going to just come right at you and bounce up super high. Look, when I drop this ball, it only goes about a quarter of the height that I dropped at. So where players go wrong, number one, they can't hit low balls, or they can't hit any type of spin as well, two birds with one stone, is they're waiting for the ball to come to them and then they go. Even if you make contact, you're further back, you want to get up to the kitchen. So from now on, every single time what you're going to do is when this ball's going, I'm not going to wait for it, I'm going to move up and go right to it. Now, if you are ever hitting a low return or a low drive, you have to make sure that you drop your body down to the height of the ball. Many players, they can't hit a good low ball return or a good low drive because they're bending at their waist. And this is a very huge thing that we're going to bring up in every single one of these shots, is notice when you're going low to a ball, you're not bending at your waist, you're getting into your legs. I want you to think for your forehand and your backhand, your ideal contact point is here, and it's here, one or two hands. This is where I want to make contact with my forehand and my backhand. If the ball is lower, what players go wrong is that they drop their body downward. Now, if I drop my body downward by bending at my waist, when I swing, it's going to go upward. It's going to either be A, popped up at my opponents and they're going to smash the ball down, or B, the ball's going to go long. If you bend at your waist and you don't get into your legs, the only way that you will be able to keep your A, your drives, or B, your returns in the court is by slowing the ball down and allowing gravity to work. If you do that, you're never going to be able to hit a big ball. So instead of what you're going to do, instead of just bending down at the waist, I'm going to drop into my legs. Notice my contact is here. If the ball's lower, I'm going to just drop down. Notice when I drop down, I'm dropping down by sitting back into my legs, kind of like I'm doing a squat. I am not bending at my waist. So you need to get down to the height of the ball. So if you're ever hitting a low shot, this could be a slice, or this could just be a shot that bounced in the middle of the court off your return or a drive, you need to get down into it. So notice, if the ball's here and it's super low, I'm going to turn, I'm going to drop down, and then I'm going to hit. A great way to ensure that you drop down to the height of the ball is I like to think about this concept called anchoring the back knee. I want you to watch what I do when I hit this backhand real quick. Here we are. So I'm down, right? I'm going to the ball. Here we are. Look at my back leg. It's kind of like I'm doing almost a lunge. By anchoring my back leg or getting my back knee down, it's going to ensure that my contact is at the proper height. If I don't anchor my back knee down, I am going to go with my waist. If I anchor my back knee down, now look, I'm able to make contact at the height and also swing forward and swing up. Again, when I bend down at my waist for my forehand, look, I go down and then I'm really just swinging up, lifting the ball. When I anchor my back leg down, now look what's going to happen. Now I'm going to get under the ball, but also I'm going to swing forward. So I really want to think, as soon as I see that it's going to go low, step one is I'm not letting the ball come to me. I'm going to the ball. And then step two is I'm dropping my center of gravity. And then when I make contact, I'm anchoring my back knee for my backhand and also for the forehand. Now, if you're hitting low balls, you should feel it in your legs. If you don't feel the burn, you're not getting low enough. Now, every single pickleballer isn't going to be this low at all times. But here's another thing. A little bit goes a long way. If you can drop your center of gravity and get a slight bit lower, it's going to allow you to get under and hit more forward rather than just bending down and popping the ball up. Also, if you struggle with lower back pain, and I am not a PT, but I have years and years of hitting forehand and backhand returns and drives, and I have found out myself, this is way much more of a destruction to my back compared to this. It's kind of like lifting, right? If you ever lift something heavy, you have to make sure you get in the proper position and then you go. If you're lifting by just bending down, you're going to blow out your back. I want you to approach these low balls like you are lifting. Not only for pain purposes and pain management, that's amazing if you can have less back pain when you play pickleball, but also because when you go out to the ball, now you're able to put yourself in a more aggressive position rather than just hitting the ball up and relying on gravity. Now, we worked on the drive and the return. The next thing that you have to do is when the ball is low, you need to feel the ball in your hands. Now, what do I mean by that? When the ball is low, you need to feel the ball in your hands. What in the God's name does that mean? Let me explain. You have to understand, and everyone is going all over the internet with this. If it's low, block it. If it's in the middle, counter it. If it's high, go for it, right? They're all breaking this down, right? If it's green light, yellow light, red light. You understand for your volleys that if the ball is above the net, you kill the ball. If the ball is at or below the net, you're more defensive and you block the ball back. Players, they understand that, but what they don't do is they don't bring that back to the baseline with them, and that's probably because they do not come from prior racket sports. I want you to think that you are a baseball player. You have your strike zone, you have your wheelhouse. Anything that you hit in your wheelhouse, you're going to hit a home run or a really good shot. Now, anything that's outside, you can let it go. Now in pickleball, unless the ball is out, you can't let it go. But what you can do is you can adjust the type of swing that you are going to hit. So what I want you to think in pickleball, here is your strike zone. Here is your perfect contact. And how do you do it? To find it for yourself, everyone's going to be different based upon their height and wingspan, is all you're going to do is you're just going to be sideways and you're going to put your racket straight out and you're going to freeze. This is your ideal contact zone for your forehand. And when you hit your backhand, you're just going to take your paddle back and freeze with your paddle down front. This is my ideal contact zone for my backhand, and this is my ideal contact zone for my one-handed backhand. This is where I want to be. This is my strike zone. Does that make sense? Anything higher is outside of my strike zone and probably out if I'm at the baseline. Anything's higher is out, so I don't have to worry about that. But anything lower is out of my strike zone as well. It's going to be in if it's lower and it's over the net, not in the net. So what do I have to do? If the ball is lower, I need to understand that that ball is not in my strike zone. Now, unlike baseball, you let the pitch go. However, for pickleball, you're going to realize, oh my gosh, it is not in my wheelhouse. So instead of trying to kill the ball, I'm going to block the ball back, or I'm going to play with spin, or I am going to soften my hands and feel the ball. And what I mean by that is everyone can rip a forehand when it's right here, or a backhand when it's right in their contact zone, right here. That's perfect. Everyone can do that. But where players go wrong is that they have that feel, and then they get a lower ball, or they don't move their feet. It's down here, and they try to rip it again. And the ball goes out, or it goes in the net. If you ever get a low drive or return a serve, same thing, you're going to be hitting a forehand or a backhand, you have to make sure that you understand that the ball is outside of your strike zone, and you have to act accordingly. So what we have to do is we have to realize the ball's coming. Okay, it's low. So what do I have to do? I have to go to the ball. Don't let the ball come to me. We went over that. Now I have to get low. And then the next thing that we have to do is that we have to soften up and feel the ball. We have to soften up and feel the ball. That one ball, I just hit my knee with the paddle. That did not feel good. But what we have to do is we have to soften up and feel the ball. If the ball is ever coming low, you do not need to have a death grip. You do not need to kill the ball. All you have to do is feel the ball and get the ball in. When you're hitting a low drive or return, it's just like hitting a low volley. You're not going to kill that volley. You are not going to kill that return or drive. So what you're going to do is if you hold the paddle tight, it's not going to be right, especially with this ball. You're going to hold the paddle loose. You're going to go to the ball. You're going to stay down. And all you're going to do is you're going to finish up with your paddle. Again, when the ball goes low, you need to think down and finish up. So you hit me a low ball right here. Okay, going to the ball, we went over that. Now, I'm keeping my body down, but then when I finish, I'm finishing up. Now, the big thing again, as I said, you have to feel the ball. You have to have soft hands. If you hold the paddle tight, it's not going to be right. You get down and you finish up, you're sending that to the moon. So you need to get down, feel the ball, and finish up. Basically, what you have to do is hold your paddle a slight bit looser than you typically do. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being a death grip, 1 being super loose, you want to be about a 2 or a 3. The looser you are, the more you're going to let the paddle work for you and not work for the paddle, and the more your paddle is going to absorb the ball. I want you to think, if the ball bounces on your paddle and you have a death grip, it's going to go straight up. But if you have a looser grip, 2 or 3, and the ball bounces, look, it's going to hit and it's going to absorb. It's going to go lower. And that is what you're looking for every single time. Now, the last thing is, and a lot of players go wrong, is that they pop their body up. You get low, you stay low, you're doing every single thing that we worked on in this video, but then at the last minute, what they do, they pop their body up. Wherever your body goes, the ball is going to go. What you need to do is you need to get low into your body, you need to stay down, you need to move forward, and you need to finish down. I want you to think that you're tackling someone. You're right in front of me. I'm not going to tackle you like this and pull my body up. I'll get laid out. If you want to tackle somebody, you need to go forward and into them. If you want to hit a low ball in pickleball, drive or return, you need to go forward and into it. You need to keep your body down and forward throughout the shot. So what you're going to do again is I'm going to get down, I'm going to get low. And look, see how my body's down and forward throughout? And I'm moving forward to get up to the kitchen as well. So again, super low ball. Here we are, getting down. Look how I keep my body down. Pretend that there's a ceiling above your head, another way to think of it. Not one size fits all. Different tips work for different people. But I'm staying under the ceiling the whole time. The ceiling's here. I can't go like this because what? I'm going to pop my head out above the ceiling. So stay down inside your ceiling at all times. Now, we went over how to hit low balls for the drives and the returns. Now we're going to go over how to hit low balls with the drops. Now, the number one thing with the drops with low balls is, guess what? If you ever get a low ball for a drop, 9 times out of 10, you probably want to just hit a drive. Remember, drops are balls that are in your contact zone. Anytime that you have a good ball, you probably want to make a drop, or you can hit a drop, right? When it's outside of our contact zone, what does that mean? It's not in our strike zone. We're going to adjust to it. Essentially, you want to hit drops whenever you can really move up and make contact in front. If you're ever getting pushed back or off balance, you're probably going to hit a drive because you can maneuver it easier. If you're really going to hit a drop when it's low, you have to do the exact same thing. You have to make sure that you get down to the ball and you don't let the ball come to you. Now, the difference is for the drop, if you're getting it low, you have to make sure that you really open up your paddle face. A lot of players go wrong because they have this amazing hybrid topspin drop, or maybe they're hitting their forehand type drop or something like that, and the ball's super low, it's out of their strike zone, and then they go like this and they try to drop it, it goes in the net. I have to realize if the ball's ever low on the court and it's not coming at me real hard, so I'm hitting a drop, I need to make sure that I adjust and I open up my paddle face. When I'm hitting a low drop, I'm not just dropping my body, but I'm really opening up my paddle face and getting under it. Remember, when you hit the drop, you have to get under and lift the ball. If the ball is low, you need to literally get under the ball and lift it up. So what you have to do is you have to really exaggerate getting down below it and then coming under it. Now, how do we come under it? It's opening up our paddle face. Again, you can hit a drop like this. You can hit a roll drop. You can hit a slice drop. You can do all that good stuff. But whenever you're hitting a low ball and you need to drop it, you just need to have the normal paddle face open and getting under the ball. If it's ever super low, look how I'm getting under it and I'm just lifting it. Again, if it's ever super low here for the forehand, I'm getting under and I'm scooping the ball up. So if you ever have a low drop that you're going to take, drop down with your body, open up your paddle face, have your paddle face facing upward, and lift the ball up in the air. And make sure, again, you finish up high. Anytime that the ball is low, that means that you have to lift the ball twice as much compared to your normal shot. So that means that you have to follow through up. By following through up, that will ensure that you have lifted the ball more than you typically have done. Now we're going to go up to the kitchen and talking about how to hit low volleys and low dinks. If you ever feel like your opponent pops the ball up to you, or you pop the ball up to your opponent, if you ever feel like you're afraid of giving your opponent pop-ups, then this is going to be the place for you. Now, here is where players go wrong. Players go wrong, again, because they realize it's not in their strike zone, and they either A, hit a low ball into the net, or B, pop the low ball up to their opponent and they smash the ball down. Now, the reason why the ball goes into the net is because they don't adjust their paddle face. If you're ever hitting a low dink or a low volley, you need to make sure that you open up your paddle face. Once again, if the ball is ever low while you're up at the kitchen, in order to get that ball over the kitchen, number one, you have to hit up, and number two, you have to hit forward to cover the distance, but you don't have that much distance. Where players go wrong is that they have some type of grip up here or some type of grip when they hit dinks, but then down here, they have the same exact grip, the ball's super low, and then it goes right in the net. If you ever hit a ball that's below the net at your feet, super low, volley or dink, you need to open up your paddle face. I want you to think, the higher the ball is, the more I want my paddle face to be closed. The lower the ball is, the more I want my paddle face to be open. Up here, I need to hit down into the court. How do I hit down into the court? I tilt that paddle face downward. But down here, I need to hit up over the net. How do I do that? I do it by just opening my paddle face. Do you see how my paddle face right now? Look, pretend that there's an arrow shining out the center of the paddle. The arrow is pointing up. It's not pointing down. It's not pointing forward. It's pointing up. Now, this is a big thing, and this is why players pop the ball up. They don't just open up their paddle. They think, or they panic, and they think that they have to swing. And the moment that you swing, you don't have distance when you're between yourself and your opponent. So your opponent hits you a really good low dink. They're giving you a defensive shot, and what do? You move too much, and you go, and you pop the ball up in the air. All you have to do, if it's a dink or a volley, and your opponent hits a good shot to you, an aggressive shot, they're on offense, you're on defense. And why are you on defense? Because you're making contact below the net. If you're ever making contact around the net, you're on neutral. If you're ever making contact above the net, you're on offense. However, they put you in a defensive position. Now, if your partner or your opponent puts you in a defensive position, that doesn't mean you have to give them an offensive ball. But what it means, though, is you have to make sure that you block the ball back. All I'm going to do, again, is open up my paddle face and go. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to swing my wrist or my arm or anything like that. A great drill to do is go out with your partner and literally just dink back and forth and just have your paddle face open and get that confidence that if the ball's ever at your feet, you just have to go like this and open up your paddle. If your paddles just go like this. So literally limit the movement. Go out and dink and just open, open, open. Look how little movement am I doing. So remember, they hit an offensive shot, and instead of me hitting a defensive shot or giving them an offensive shot, I'm neutralizing my opponent by doing what? Not swinging, by just opening up my paddle. Now, if you can open up your paddle and then use the second thing, you're going to be able to hit not only neutral shots, but you're going to be able to hit offensive shots. Now, Michelle, if you want to dink with me real quick, we'll show them exactly where players go wrong. So if Michelle ever hits me a low ball, where players go wrong all the time is if she hits me a low ball, I bend down at my waist and I pop the ball up. Notice when I bend down at my waist, I have to hit the ball up. Notice, look, when I go down at my waist, look at my swing. Look at my swing. It's going straight up. The arrow is pointing upward. But when I bend into my legs, notice the same swing. Now it's forward. Again, pretend this arrow straight up at the waist. Look, the arrow's upward. When I get into my legs and I do the same swing, look, now it's more forward. So if I ever hit low dinks, I'm going to get low and drop my center of my body. Now, hopefully I can get that over the net. But look, I'm dropping down into my legs. Again, if you ever feel the burn, that means you're doing it right. So get into your legs and sit down so you can go forward at the ball rather than under and up. Because up at the kitchen, you do not have distance to get away with popping the ball up in there. So if it's low, remember, open up your paddle face, get into your legs, limit your paddle movement instead of bending at your waist and swinging upward, and that's how you're going to be able to keep the balls low. If you can do that when you're up at the kitchen and you can go back to the baseline and get your body down, that's how you're going to win more points, and that's how you are going to pop less balls up wherever you are on court. So again, if you can understand when you're hitting a low ball that you're not going to wait for it, you're going to go up to the ball because the ball is going to die down, you are going to swing up and lift the ball up. Because it's lower, you have to lift it up higher. You're going to hold the paddle loose so you can keep the ball in. And most importantly, you're going to understand that the ball isn't in your strike zone, so you're going to do certain things. If you're back at the baseline, you're going to what? Play with spin, maybe ease up on your shot a tiny bit, or when you're up at the kitchen, you're going to block the ball back rather than trying to kill the ball. You're going to pop less balls up, you're going to hit less balls in the net, you're going to hit less balls out, and you're going to win more pickleball points. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I absolutely died in the heat doing it. Hope this helps your game. And remember, the best way to support this channel is to share with your pickleball group. Everyone is with some pickleball group chats, probably too many compared to what you want to be on. But guess what? You're going to share this video with all of them, and you're going to provide some value and support this channel. So have a good one. Check out all my carbon links. Happy hitting. Hopefully next time I'll go on court. It'll be a little bit cooler, and we'll see you guys next time on court.